All right, we are here to talk about our solar eclipse happening on September 21st. We've kind of been in the deep, thick, ooey gooey waters of eclipse season since September 7th when we had our lunar eclipse that happened in Pisces. I have a full video on that. And even prior to entering eclipse season, I made a video on this where I dive into what are eclipses, why, what's going on. So if you're curious more about the deeper understanding of eclipses, you can check out that video. It's on my channel. But otherwise, in this video, we are specifically going to be talking about this eclipse, what's happening, what's going on, what's the 411. I watched Parent Trap the other day and it just brought up the the 411. Oh man. Anyways, I've been putting this off, which feels much like this eclipse that's happening. So, to give us some context, I do have to rewind us back to the beginning of Virgo season. So, around August 21st, we had a new moon in Virgo at 0 degrees of Virgo. Why is that significant? Because this solar eclipse is happening at the 29th degree of Virgo, the last degree, the anaretic degree. And it's really bringing in this kind of bookend experience. We started Virgo season with a brand new opened 0 degree new moon, setting intentions, and now we're ending it at the final degree. So there is this big focus on the Virgo house within your life that is coming to play. So I invite you to look at where Virgo is within your natal chart and do a little research, do a little deep dive. What's been happening? How has this been transpiring? What's going on in your life? What's this eclipse portal been like? I'd love for you guys to comment and let me know what's been going on for you guys. So eclipses, they happen every 6 months. They're not very new. I always giggle because media tends to hype them up big time, and they are big moments, but you may notice that a lot of us astrologers who are sharing the information on these, it's kind of like taking a shot in the dark because eclipse energy is unpredictable. That's the whole purpose, right? And so I'm going to talk about the sort of themes that this eclipse is bringing up. I have the charts off to the side. I'm looking at it here and I'm ready to dive deep. And as you guys are watching, liking, commenting, subscribing really, really helps the channel's growth. This is what I love doing, and so your support means the world, especially with engaging with the videos. It pushes my content out to other people who may also enjoy and benefit from what I'm doing here. So thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, tagging, all this stuff. Okay, so these eclipse themes that are coming up, this is sort of a threshold of completion that we're coming to, right? So we're at the 29th degree of Virgo. Like I said before, this is the anaretic degree. This is endings. This is bringing in urgency. This is bringing in pressure to refine something before it slips away. There's like this ultimate moment that is coming with this collapse. That's been a lot of what I've been talking. A lot of things are falling away with this eclipse portal we've been in. This can kind of feel much like a final exam. And I bring in the exam metaphor because Virgo is, I relate Virgo to the starting of the school season, packing your bags, making sure things organized, making sure your schedules perfect and set up. And if you watched my new moon in Virgo video from the beginning of Virgo season, you'll know that this Virgo season is absolutely completely different than any Virgo season you've ever experienced. Let me know below how it's landing for you guys. We're focused on the polarity between Virgo and Pisces, which is very interesting. We have the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo, so we've been really cleaning up the karmic debt of our Virgo house. We also have another aspect that is very important for this eclipse that I'm going to dive into, which is the fact that Saturn retrograded back into Pisces a couple weeks ago and is now making an opposition to the sun and moon Saturn's at 28 degrees of Pisces. And I talked a lot about Saturn's role in these eclipses because he is essentially bringing in that level of spiritual discernment, of having a level of discipline within our spiritual practices, beliefs, whatever you subscribe to. And now this opposition is bringing in Saturn's kind of this container, right? Or this elder that is coming here and facing the sun and moon in an opposition 180 degrees, and this can kind of feel like a reckoning with authority, with time, with inner structures. And the thing about Pisces, it blurs those boundaries, and so there's sort of this interesting back and forth between the sun and moon in Virgo that are really insisting on like this precision, this final like cut. But the thing about Saturn and Pisces is it's like brings in this level of higher perspective because it's spirituality. It's in Pisces. It's in this space that can't really be conceptualized, but Saturn's trying his darndest to really have us wrap up these lessons of Saturn and Pisces that we've been going through for the last 3 years, really honing in on what is your spiritual values? What is your beliefs? Where do you fall in your magical aspects? It's very hard to speak to because it's deeply personal for each person. This eclipse feels like a breaking point in the most beautiful way possible. It's sort of this understanding that what you thought and the routines and systems that you thought were going to carry you forward into your future, they don't work anymore. That's what this eclipse portal has been showing us. New modalities and new ways to operate in a new life. And this new moon, solar eclipse happening at the final degree of Virgo, is really saying, now be about it. Do it. Do it, right? We've gotten so much insight and support during this period of time. I've been coining it in my newsletters as it's sort of that in-between phase from caterpillar, which was the start of this eclipse portal, going into the cocoon. We've been in this cocoon for the last 2 weeks, and now with this final process, it's coming out of the cocoon. And let's really think about what that could be like. If you could put yourself in a butterfly shoe coming out of a cocoon, you've only known being a caterpillar your whole life. How are you gonna fly? You've never flown before, but that's that Saturn and Pisces energy of trusting something to contain the energy, to know that you can fly. You've got to crawl out, and I'm thinking also of moths coming out of cocoons too. They have to let their wings expand and dry, and they sort of have this awaiting moment of like letting things settle in, right? It feels very, very beautiful. And again, I'm bringing you in to look at where is Virgo in your natal chart? What house is it in? Comment it below. What house is this eclipse falling in for you? It depends if you follow the whole house system or Placidus. I personally follow Placidus myself, which creates a little bit different of a structure depending on where you're born. So check it out, comment it, let me know. A few other pieces with this eclipse to bring in more layers is this is falling in the third decan of Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury. Mercury has been our big mover during this eclipse season. Mercury's sort of been giving us small little breadcrumbs to follow of communication, of the conversations we're having are kind of pulling us from this sort of internal goo that we're in. And I say that as you are the mush of a caterpillar in a cocoon, right? You're in this like, I can't do anything, but you can still talk or telepathically communicate to other caterpillars and cocoons around you. I don't know how it actually works. I'm using metaphors, and this metaphor isn't really applying to some of the things that I'm thinking about here, but it really is like the conversations you are having are painting the picture for the future. You know, Mercury rules over communication, perceptions, systems, daily rituals, and the fact that this is in Virgo, which is Virgo is ruled by Mercury as well. And right now, Mercury is speeding through the signs. He's going quick. He's moving, and he's making a lot of different aspects as this eclipse is approaching. And if you want to know what's happening, you can watch my last video, which was my live stream recap, and know what's happening, or you can check out my Substack down below to read about the transits. Mercury's in Libra right now, and this is all about harmony and connection and talking. So there's this edge of like really connecting to the people around you. And another thing that's coming to mind with this, you may notice a lot of things during this eclipse have fallen away, right? Things are shedding, things are changing. It's uneven ground, right? And so you're really working on filling in the cracks and like finding what works, or even realizing this isn't even where I want to build my foundation. So you're moving. The thing about Mercury in Libra is it's bringing in people that can actually help you grow, right? Or conversations or connections, or taking in information, reading a book, okay? So many different learning outside of yourself. Libra's all about reflecting. And I want to bring in the invitation to look at who are the top 5 people you surround yourself with. That is you. And if those are people that you're like, I don't know if I really would want to be associated with them, or for me to actually, and this is a real thing to really contemplate. Who are those people? And are they upholding values that you also care about, right? It's really looking at who you surround yourself with. That's who you are. You carry certain qualities because we all kind of reflect things. So, all right, for my tarot people, the third decan of Virgo is ruled by the 10 of Pentacles. And if we understand the story of the Pentacles, it's reaching this physical fulfillment, right? This is legacy. This is lineage. These are structures that endure the test of time. It's very akin to Capricorn for my people who don't know tarot and just know astrology. This eclipse is really bringing in what happens here, what seed you plant here, the idea, the desire that you've been really working on refining during this eclipse season, during this Virgo season overall. Can it pass the test of time? Is this something you want to carry forward beyond the grave, right? That stands, it's the idea of building a cathedral for everybody to gather, for it to be used as a place of devotion even beyond your lifespan, right? It's like having a memoir, an autobiography, right? These things that last beyond your lifetime. What is it within the house of your natal chart that you want to last the test of time, right? Saturn here, right, in Pisces is really kind of this dream tester. He's really testing, can these dream ideals, right, this opposition, can these Piscean ideals be grounded? Dreams versus discipline, mysticism versus practicality. There's so much coming up here. And with this 10 of Pentacles aspect, right, and bringing in the idea of Saturn as well, this can highlight sort of ancestral karma, right? Inherited patterns that we're being asked to restructure. You don't actually probably want to follow in the footsteps of some of your ancestors. I know the people that come to my readings and who get readings from me, who work with me, you're really actively breaking through karmic patterns, ancestral patterns, right? So this South Node in Virgo aspect to this, right? This is where we're releasing perfectionism, hyperanalysis, the need to control outcomes. And with this movement forward with the North Node in Pisces, this is embracing trust, faith, and like really trusting that we can do things and allow ourselves to fall freely in surrender and know that we have been putting the pieces in place to catch us, right? You know, there's this aspect with Mercury coming into play with this last degree of Virgo. What are you speaking into existence? What old stories are ready to end? Where have you outsourced authority for your truth. That's that Saturn piece here, where it's just like, well, I just believe what they say. I just believe what that thing on I was scrolling on my For You page, and yep, that's my belief. There's like this really fine edge of Virgo here that's saying, what is yours? And cutting away at anything that is not yours, okay? Because not like there is a beautiful opportunity happening right now with this eclipse here of this seed that's being planted is something that's going to be lasting beyond you. What is it? That's a big question, I know, right? It's a big piece of your life that is kind of like ready to take form. In this in between, at least I can speak to my own experience, this in between the eclipse cycle, it's been living with the duality of life, of this and that, right? It's been both. Everything's been present, but it's in that view of seeing all the opportunity around us. It's kind of like we've been at a crossroad, and this eclipse is finally saying, now pick your direction and go. So we've had a lot of time to sit with all the potentials. And now it's time to go. Kind of spooky, but exciting. Go. Go for it. Do the thing. Like, stop. I want to just grab you guys and shake you and say, trust yourself. You've got you. We've been really, really seeing the power of the mind during this eclipse season. That's what Virgo's really been in and revealing to us. It's been this back and forth of fear and faith, fear and faith, fear and faith, fear and faith. One day, deep in the fear, nothing's going to work out. Everything's falling apart. My life, I don't even know where to go. The next day, I know that God, source, universe has got me. We're going. They're showing me every day signs, people. We're making it. I don't think I'm going to make it. I'm making it. I don't think I'm going to that has been the reality of this eclipse season. Definitely let me know if that's been it for you. So feeling into that, right? Feeling into that. Now, what's your next steps? This eclipse is going to be that moment of like, and now we're going. And now it's go time. I see like you cross the finish line of the test, and now it's sort of that idea of taking the final exam, like the bar exam or whatever. I didn't do the traditional school route, so I don't really know some of those structures, but it feels very much like we're in that sort of test phase. And now it's like, now take everything you learned and go apply it. Go. Okay? So I would love to know how this eclipse season is feeling for you, how this solar eclipse is applying to you. And if you're really resonating with this, and again, I'm taking that moment to ask for you guys to like, subscribe, share this with friends, family, anybody you feel would benefit from the knowledge that I'm sharing. I am deeply passionate about what I do. Astrology has been my favorite language since I was 15. Holy cow, that's a long time. And I'm finally doing the thing. It's my go time. We're doing it. And so your support and sharing and commenting, all this stuff really helps this move to other people that will resonate with it and just supports me. I appreciate it so much. With all that being said, let's jump into talking about the rising signs and how this is affecting you based off of your rising sign. Again, I'm going to preface, double check your chart, double check the 29th degree of Virgo within your natal chart to see where it's exactly landing. Okay, friends, I've tried to sit here and record the rising signs for over 20 minutes. And each time, and I'm going to just be so raw and honest with you guys, each time that I've tried to share what this is about for you, where it's impacting you, my words are slurring. I'm saying different words instead of the words that like are wanting to come out. This is the energy of the eclipse, is no matter what I share with you, it's deeply personal. And I personally, as an astrologer, do not want to influence your experience with this time by sharing you a perspective that is just based off of the house. I will write in the description box which house it's impacting for you, and you are more than welcome to look at that house and research that house and sit with it. If you want to grab my eclipse guide, sign up for my newsletter. It's totally free. You'll get that. And I had journal prompts, and it might be nice to just sit with these prompts or some of them to get a deeper insight. I even write out on that how it's impacting you. I'll just slap a link down below of how to access it for free, even because there's an aspect of self-evaluation coming in here, of you actually sitting with yourself and being with yourself in this time. If you really want more insight about this Virgo new moon solar eclipse, go check out my old Virgo new moon video that happened at the start of this season, talking about the points of which seeds are being planted. This is like a full circle moment that's happening here. And I want to respect that deep introspection, that deep privacy of what is coming up. And I'm not going to sit here and try to force myself to share when the words, it's just not happening. And so I'm going to trust that instead of my Virgo rising perfectionism of just pushing through despite the clear call from spirit of saying, like, stop. This is not the time to share this information. So I'm trusting my discernment with that. And if you want insight or help of how this is affecting you, I have eclipse readings available if you want to grab those with me. And additionally, if you've never had a natal chart reading, it's time. It's time. My readings are open and all my offerings are going to be listed below if you want to know what's going on in my life or how to stay connected. I have a Discord community, I have offerings, newsletter, so many fun things. So I would love to know how this energy is sitting with you. And yeah, I'm going to go sit with myself with this energy, and I will be live on Sunday at 4 p.m. PST talking about the upcoming transits. That's going to be on the eclipse day, so come join me and ask me all the questions, and I will see you then. All right, bye guys.